Hey guys, it's Alyssa from AlyssaNalani.com. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is super special. It is part of a collaborative series called 30 Days to Planner Commitment, which is hosted by Tamara, the Paper and Pen Girl. She has single-handedly gathered 29 planner babes to offer their insight this December as we are gearing up for a new year of planning in 2021. I was so excited and honored when Tamara reached out and asked if I'd like to be a part of this series. This is my third time to participate in one of her December collaborations, and they are so much fun, let me tell you. If you haven't yet watched last year's collaboration or the one before that, you can find them both linked in the description box below. They're great options if you're looking for something to binge during this season. Also, if you haven't yet caught up with this series, I invite you to do so. There are 14 videos before mine, so you want to make sure you watch all of those, get all caught up so you don't miss anything. If you go to Tamara's channel, you can find the first video in the series, and that video leads to the second one leads to the third, so on and so forth. Her first video is linked down in the description box as well, so you can get all caught up. If you are watching this series in order, that means that you came over from Miranda's video yesterday. She is Mrs. Thinking of a Master Plan, and her video, if you missed it, is linked down below in the description box. And for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome to my little space here on YouTube. I hope you're enjoying the series so far, and I'm so glad that you've come to join me for day number 15. Before I get started, I do want to let you know that I am doing a giveaway during this collaboration. So if you want to know what I'm giving away and how you can enter, make sure that you stick around to the end of the video for all of those details. I think that's all the preamble I have, so let's get started. So we're talking about planner commitment in this series, as you know, and I think that when you've been in the planner community for a while, you realize that this is one of those topics that is really important to us in this space. And we continue to talk about it and have conversations around this topic in one way or another. And I hope that what you've gathered and observed so far as you've been watching these videos is the fact that planners just come in all different stripes and types. We have different ways of looking at things and different ways of engaging in the various parts of these conversations, and various ways of approaching and dealing with different struggles and challenges in planning, so on and so forth. There isn't one way to be a planner. There isn't one way to plan, of course. There are various and sundry ways to do this. And, you know, when I think about planning and specifically, you know, planner commitment, I think about what I consider to be fundamental, or what I would consider to be planning principles. And so I'm going to share 3 of those with you today, what I consider to be fundamental. And I hope that if you haven't yet gone through a process in considering some of these things, that you do so as you're thinking about how you want to plan and show up for 2021. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's that plans change. We have to have a way of knowing how to adjust and shift gears and process and catch all the things. And so as we're thinking about how do we do 2021, while we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know what's in store, we should have some real basic things sort of figured out and set so that we're better positioned to handle whatever 2021 has to give us. So 3 points that I want to make. And if you watched my series last week, Build a Better Year 2021, some of what I'm going to say echoes what I've talked about. So you're going to hear some familiarity, or there's going to be some familiarity if you've watched that series. If you haven't watched that series, it's 5 parts. I cover 6 topics in how to do some goal setting and planning as you're prepping for 2021. And you can find that series linked in the description box, along with the free downloadable companion guide that I made to go along with that video series. So you can check that out if you are interested. So I have my planner here with my notes. That's why I keep looking down, and we'll go over these 3 points. So first of all, when I think about fundamentals in planning, when I think about planner commitment, I think about this first thing, and that is knowing your why. Knowing your why is something that you might have heard when it comes to other various things in our lives. It can be applied to pretty much anything. When you know why you're doing something, that better prepares you to do the thing, and also gives you the framework to know when you need to change your mind or make an adjustment, or shift gears based on, anything that has happened. So when you know your why, when it comes to planning, you know why you're planning. Why am I planning? You need to have an answer to that, because it's when you have that answer that you're going to get what you need to get out of your planning system. So why are you planning? Examples could be, I'm planning because I need to stay organized so that things don't fall through the cracks. I am planning because I'm a student and I have several assignments and I need to make sure that I am doing projects on time and I'm handing things in on time. I am planning because I run a business and a home, and I want to make sure that not only are all the plates spinning and all the things are getting done, but I'm also wanting to make sure that I am maintaining balance in my life across the board. Another example could be, I am planning because I have a spouse and multiple children, and we all have different schedules and things that need to be kept up with. And I want to make sure that we are getting everybody where they need to go, that we all have the resources that we need, and that our family is happy and healthy in the midst of all of it. So these are just examples of why you might need a planner, right? And it's going to be specific to your situation. I talked about this in my series last week, in the sense of naming your season. That's kind of how I framed it for the series. Naming your season is a lot like finding your why. I'm in this current season that I'm in, however you want to name that, and I talk about that in the series, and that is the reason why I might need this planner right now, or this is the reason why I need to try this method, or that person on YouTube in her video, she lives a life that's similar to mine. Maybe I'll try that method or whatever. So knowing your why is going to help you to get the most out of your planner system and get what you need to get out of it. So that would be my first tip, or my first point. My second point, after knowing your why, would be to set your priorities. This is number 2. And again, I talk about this in my series last week. So setting your priorities takes you from knowing your why or naming your season, and then helps you and then is the act of determining what is most important right now. So let's say you run a business and have a family. So your priorities are going to be centered around your business and your family and whatever is important for those 2 big things in your life. Of course, you might add some other things like your health or your spirituality or whatever. If you're a student, then your education is on top priority list right now, along with maybe a job or a family or a relationship or your health or your spirituality. So knowing your why or your season is going to help you set those priorities. And those priorities are going to remain they're going to remain static no matter what planner you're in. So for instance, if you're the kind who likes to jump from planner to planner, there's nothing wrong with that. Or if you're a multiple planner person and you just like to do these things for fun, and we'll talk about that in a minute, there's nothing wrong with it, but your priorities don't shift based on the planner you're in. So for instance, if your priorities are health, spirituality, marriage, kids, job, some basic things, okay? Let's say those are your priorities. You're gonna set your goals and focus on those priorities, whether you're in a traveler's notebook or a bullet journal or a happy planner or an Erin Condren or a Moxie Life or I'm losing all the other names, but it doesn't matter which one of those you're in, or if you're in multiples of those choices, those are your priorities and they remain stable. Now here's the thing, life will change on a dime. We know this from 2020, right? So if your priorities do shift, which it can happen, either this year or in 2 years or whatever, next month, tomorrow, when your priorities do shift, your planning system has to be such that you don't lose anything falling through the cracks because you had a faulty system. And that's a delicate dance, and it might take practice, but you should have a system and know your why and have your priorities set so that when things change, You can shift gears, you can make adjustments and get all that stuff on paper or in your digital system if that's what you use, and not lose anything. So there's a dance between having your priorities and your goals set and holding that with confidence, knowing what you're working towards and what you're pursuing and what you're maintaining, so on and so forth. Holding that with confidence, all the while knowing that that could change and you might have to let go, readjust, reassemble, reassess, all of the re's. And you're planning, whatever planner you're using, whatever planner system you're using, can't impede that shifting process, that adjustment process. I hope that makes sense. So number one, know your why or know your season. Number two, set your priorities. And those are the things that are going to remain stable until otherwise notified or until life changes, regardless of what planning system you're in. The third thing that I want to cover, this is the third point, and this is kind of, this comes from being reconciled to how I was behaving in my planner life. And I'll explain why in a second. So the third point is understanding your relationship between decorative planning and planning. So I am one of those who is a multiple planner person. I love multiple planners. I can't just stick in one. I am one of those who loves the stickers and the washi and all the different fun stuff that you can use. However, I'm also a procrastinator. And unfortunately, my mind was using the act of decorative planning as satisfactory, as a way to satisfy the mental cue to actually do regular planning. What do I mean by that? So my mind would say, hey, Alyssa, it's time to plan in your planner, right? My mind would tell me, excuse me, that it's time to sit down and make sure that I had my plan for the week or my plan for the day or whatever. And what I would do is take out my planner and my stickers and my washi and all the different things, and I would deco plan, but not actually do the work of writing all the things down. And so my encouragement to you is, if you are one of those who can fulfill your mental cue to plan with only deco planning and not actually getting stuff done, then you need to assess, you need to stop, assess, and adjust. Stop, assess, adjust. Make sure that you're not procrastinating and using deco planning just as an excuse to do so. Make sure that words and tasks and projects and productivity cues are actually making it onto the page and not just all the pretty fun stuff. Because it has happened to me before, and I had to get used to being okay with there being only words on my pages and no deco. And that's kind of a weird thing to kind of get used to at first. But now I have no problem with there being no deco on my pages for pages and pages and pages, and then having some decorative stuff every so often when I had time to do it. But if you only have time for one, decorative planning or actual planning, and one of them has to go, always let it be deco planning that goes and actual planning that stays, because that's kind of the point, right? So make sure you understand your relationship to both decorative planning and actual planning. Don't give yourself excuses to put off your actual planning. Sometimes it's hard work to sit there and figure out, how do I manage all of these things? Or how do I fill this time? Or how do I discipline myself to get these things done in the time they're supposed to get done? So again, if that's a struggle for you, make sure you understand that relationship. So one thing that I actually had written down, but Miranda in her video yesterday addressed it, was to commit to planning and not the planner. Okay, so I was going to talk about that, but she already talked about that. But just to kind of echo what she had said, commit to planning and not the planner. This is why it's not necessarily bad if you like multiples or if you like to hop around. Just make sure that you have a process that isn't contingent on whatever system you're using, right? This is something that I learned from Carrie Harling a long time ago when I was first in the planner community and I would watch her videos. Y'all, She was the master at being able to go from traveler's notebook to rings to finally she went into bullet journaling for a time, and she could go from one size to another, to this system to that, and not lose her stride because she knew what her priorities were, she knew what she had to get done, and she was able to do it across the board. So make sure you know, what am I trying to get done? What are my priorities? What is my why? What is my season? What do I need? So that if I'm hopping around, I don't lose track of anything. Now, I'm just gonna put it out there. You might be one of those who can't hop and keep track at the same time. I can't, which is why I can say that. I cannot hop and keep track at the same time. I'm in the process of really nailing down my system. Part of that is this planner that I'm in now. This is the Full Focus Planner. I have a video on it if you want to check it out. And so far, this has been working really well for me. I'm considering adding adding a bullet journal, and I currently also have a happy planner as part of my system. So I'm treading lightly on just adding all the things, because I know I cannot do certain things and keep track at the same time. So kind of know yourself and know what you are capable of doing and what you're not capable of doing. And it's okay if you are not the kind of person who can do what this girl over there is doing. That's okay. We're not playing the comparison games, right? We're doing what we can do based on our needs, our personality, our circumstances, so on and so forth. The other part of my planning system is, of course, if you've been with me for some time, y'all know I love my power sheets. These are my 2021 power sheets. I've already done my prep work in them. There isn't a video yet. I'm pre-recording this. There isn't a video yet for my prep work, but there will be this week. So look out for that if you want to check out my prep work for power sheets. This is where I set my why, my priorities, my goals, so on and so forth. If you want a tool to help you with that process, hands down, my absolute favorite. If this is something that's not within your reach because of your budget, which is totally fine, I understand that, my Build a Better Year series can help you get started with some of that goal setting and prioritizing and resolution making and so forth. So again, if you haven't watched it and you want to, you can find it linked down below. All right, those are my 3 tips for you to consider when you're thinking about planner commitment. Know your why, set your priorities, and understand your relationship between planner decorating and actual planning. If you want to learn more, again, you can check out my Build a Better Year series. You can check out my Full Focus Planner video if you want to look at this planner and see if it's an option for you. You can also check out my flip through of power sheets, which I did live on launch day, so it's a live replay. And I go through all of the pages of the 2021 power sheets. You can also check out my growth book journal unboxing if you're needing a journal option. And I think that's it for now. I will be doing more videos later on in the month talking about my planner stack, my journal stack, so on and so forth. So look out for those. All right, now let's talk about the giveaway. You guys, I love power sheets so much. I cannot recommend them more highly. I have said before that I will use them as long as they continue to make them, and I mean that wholeheartedly. This is my favorite planning tool, hands down. No matter what planner I'm in, next year or in coming years, I will always use power sheets. They're the perfect companion to any planner system that you're using. So I thought it would be special if I not only recommended these so highly, but if I gave you a chance to win a set for yourself. This is a gift from me to one lucky winner. I wish I had enough money to just buy you all a set, those of you who don't have them, but I have one set that I got, and I have it for one lucky winner of the giveaway. This is the pink sunrise cover, and at the time of this recording, this cover is now available only in double digits. Like, they only have so many left. So this is a really special cover and soon to be sold out cover. So pink sunrise, I have it available to give away to one person. As you can see, I haven't even ripped open the bubble wrap yet, y'all. The person who opens this will be the person who owns it. So she needs a new home, and she's beautiful. She is just as wonderful as my personal copy. She's just in a different color. And again, if you want to learn more, there's a video down below. You can get the flip through. So I'm giving these away, and all you need to do to enter the giveaway is in the comments below. I need you to do two things. You need to, one, comment below with one of your priorities this year. And you don't have to go into depth. You can say, one of my priorities this year is my health, or one of my priorities this year is my family, or one of my priorities this year is my relationship with Jesus, or whatever it is. So one, give me one of your priorities. And then second, I want you to tell me something that you've learned so far from the series. Again, it doesn't have to be super specific. Just let me know something that you've learned so far from the series, preferably not from one of my videos, preferably from another one of the videos in this series. I want to know, one, what is one of your priorities for 2021? And two, what is something that you've learned from this series so far? Obviously, there are going to be people who are watching this after more videos have been published. So it doesn't have to be from one of the videos 1 through 14. It can absolutely be from videos 16 to 30. So any of the videos in the series, let me know what you learned. I need both of those answers to qualify as an entry in this giveaway. So let me know priority and what you learned, and you'll be entered in for a chance to win this beautiful pink sunrise set of power sheets. Of course, if you have any questions, you can leave them in your comment as well, but make sure that if you want to enter the giveaway that you leave me the answers to those two questions, and a winner will be chosen at random at the end of the series, and I will be contacting you to get your information. All right, that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Tomorrow you want to make sure to continue the series with Lakin. She is Plan with Lakin here on YouTube, and her channel is linked down in the description box below. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. It was wonderful spending this time with you, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.